Oh, are we starting? Sorry. All right. So let's take a look at this problem. So Bob is attending culinary school at Tech High. His teacher tells him that a serving of French fries should be sprinkled with 2.08 times 10 to the 22. I got to get my pen down here. I forgot to do that. Times 10 to the 22. Can't even get through this. It's not a good sign. So 2.08 times 10 to the 22 molecules of sodium chloride. Bob needs to know how many grams of salt to add. Can you help Bob? Yes, we can help Bob. Let's do this problem. So we need to remember that moles are always in the middle. In this case, and doesn't really matter which side. So let's put the number of molecules over here and then grams over here. So this is our game plan. You always got to keep this in your mind. And so to go between grams to moles, we're going to use molar mass. To go between moles and number of molecules, we use Avogadro's number. Beautiful. So what are we starting with? Well, we have 2.08 times 10 to the 22 molecules of sodium chloride. So first thing is, what's sodium chloride? Well, sodium is +1. Chloride is -1. So we got a formula. There's our formula. All right. We'll need that for later on when we do this problem. So first thing we do, and let's move down here a little, is we make our fence posts. So we're starting with 2.08 times 10 to the 22, and I can already tell I'm going to run out of room, molecules of sodium chloride. Perfect. I wish we had an abbreviation for molecules. And then if we start with molecules of sodium chloride as our beginning units, our given units, then molecules of sodium chloride goes down on the bottom right in order for those to be canceled out. So we're starting here, and we want to end up with grams. All right, so we want to end with grams, but to do that we have to go through moles first. So our first step is to go from 2 times 10 to the 22 molecules of sodium chloride to moles of sodium chloride. So we'll put moles of sodium chloride here, and then on our conversion we always put a 1 in front of moles, because in 1 mole of sodium chloride, how many molecules are there? Well, that's Avogadro's number. In 1 mole of anything, there is 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd molecules. So if we were to solve this right here, this would give us moles of sodium chloride, because our molecules of sodium chloride cancel out. We're left with moles of sodium chloride. But we want grams. So instead of doing 2 separate problems, we're just going to add another fence post here, and we're going to convert moles of sodium chloride to grams. So if we have moles of sodium chloride here, moles of sodium chloride goes down here, and we want to go from moles to grams, right? Moles up here to grams. So grams of sodium chloride goes here. Once again, what do you put in front of moles? You put a 1, because we can figure out this is the molar mass of sodium chloride. How do you figure out the molar mass of sodium chloride? Well, you got to use your periodic table. All right, see that? Ooh, in and out. Fancy effects. And you look at this. So let's see. So sodium is 22.99 grams per mole. Chlorine is 35.45 grams per mole. If you have a calculator, you can add this up. I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way. We'll see if this works. 4, right? One up there, 3, 8. So we got 58.44 grams for sodium chloride. All right? And if you look now, moles of sodium chloride cancel out, and our answer is going to be, and I'm running out of space, grams of sodium chloride. So we multiply the top. So we'll get your calculator out. Oops, not as easy as it looks. So we're going to take 2.08 times 10 to the 22. Remember, in your calculator, that's 2.08 second function EE to the 22 on most calculators, times 1 times 58.44 equals, and you'll get around 1.215 times 10 to the 24th. And we're going to divide that by the product of the bottom, which is 6.022 to the 23rd times 1. And that's going to give us, we need 3 sig figs, that's going to give us 2.01 grams of sodium chloride. And when I calculated this, I went ahead and multiplied these by the 1, but you don't really have to do that, because when you multiply by 1, of course you know it's not going to change anything. So really it's 2.08 times 10 to the 22 times 58.44 divided by 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd. When we get to stoichiometry, we'll be doing problems like this. There won't be as many ones, and you're going to have to do more than multiplication on the top and the bottom. You have to be a little more careful. So we've saved Bob. Bob now knows that he should add 2.01 grams of salt instead of worrying about number of molecules. Because, right, you could never count 2 times 10 to the 22 molecules. That would take a long time. Bob would be in culinary school for the rest of his life and beyond in order to count to that. All right, so this was another example. Hopefully this helps.